So this week was like the driest week you could think of in the NBA because it's post-trade deadline, but a lot of people that got traded haven't really played much time with their teams yet. So there's not a whole lot to talk about. So I figure what we do today is we give every team essentially a mid-season grade, like a report card, on what they've done this year up to the trade deadline. We'll go through every single team, give them a grades, and get just a general overview of the league going into the All-Star break.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it. There's a lot of underperforming teams this year. Actually,
a lot, bro. Well, my D tier was long.
Yeah, that's where a majority of my teams
Pause.
are.
Yeah. Before we get into it, if you're watching on YouTube, do us a favor, drop a like and subscribe. If you're on Spotify, rate us 5 stars. Same thing with Apple Music. Leave a review. And I forgot to mention it last week, but we have a Discord now. I'll put that link in the description. Go ahead in there, talk to us about basketball, talk to everyone else about any random topics you guys want to discuss. We're there every night talking with y'all.
Yeah, and speaking of Discord, we have a giveaway coming up. All you got to do to join this giveaway, we're giving away a free NBA jersey of your choice. You can pick up a Zaza Pachulia, Jose Calderon.
Nah, we won't stand for Zaza. We won't stand for Zaza.
whatever free jersey you into, bro. All you have to do to join this jersey giveaway is join our Discord, follow us on Twitter, and also our Instagram. That simple.
And follow all of us on Twitter. You see it on the screen right now. I'm just going to sprinkle that in there just to make sure you keep up with us. But
that's a given as well.
I think it should be a Ben Simmons jersey if it was me, but Mo makes the rules, so it can be anybody's jersey.
That's so nasty.
me personally, I'm a Jarrett Jack type of guy.
These are the Goodwill All-Stars. That's what these are, man. That's disgusting.
Let's jump right into this. So we're going to go, instead of going team by team, which will take forever, we're going to go letter by letter grade-wise. So y'all want to start with the good teams or the shit teams? I'm thinking we start with the bottom dwellers.
Yeah, let's get them out the way.
All right, let's do that. People who get an F grade for the season. Donovan, you go first. Who gets an F for the year?
All right, so F, Detroit, Charlotte, Houston, San Antonio. Those 4 right there.
Okay, I had the same 4, but I threw the Nets in there as well.
Oh, interesting.
Man, the Nets are crazy.
I didn't have them at F. We'll talk a little bit later, but those 4, I'm glad that we can agree on them because they've legitimately sucked this year.
Oh yeah, those are shitters for real. Like they had to be in there.
Yeah, and even like whether it's been because of injury for a couple of them, like Charlotte and like LaMelo's barely been there this entire year. Losses are losses, and you just keep piling them up. And I don't know if there's a lot of good coming out.
It's also about a lack of direction too, not just losses.
Yeah.
All right, before we get into it, Mo, what's your list for F?
I had the exact same thing as Donovan, except I added in the Toronto Raptors.
F for the Raptors? Jesus.
Yep. F. Yep. Okay. There's no clear direction for them, and they're just forcing it. Now, this is mainly like a front office thing. This is not a Scotty Barnes thing whatsoever, even though he struggled for a good portion of the season. Mm-hmm. Like, I just think that they're in this nasty middle ground, and they're playing a very dangerous game of being mid and trying to find a diamond in the rough or whatever the case may be, rather than just getting straight to the point and stop trying to do too much.
Okay.
Just trade.
I see your point. I also despise the Raptors' current direction, but I put them at D because I think F is like unique hollow ground for absolutely worthless teams that have had a waste of a season. And they, like you said, they had a slow start, but they have good players. They're going to be in the play-in. They're going to... Yeah, but like we all thought they could be a good team, so there's a world where they...
Who was we? Y'all thought they could be a good team. Don't put me
I mean the general media. I had them like the 7th seed or whatever. I wasn't like one of those people like they could low-key be the 1 seed. That was crazy. But I think they're going to be a respectable team in the play-in. And so when we talk about the other teams that are in F, Houston, San Antonio is the first year for rebuild. They have absolutely nothing going for them. Their best player is Devin Vassell. Wow.
Oh, shit.
The Rockets are a wasteland where basketball talent goes to die. Jabari Smith looks like he's one of the worst picks in recent memory. He'll get better, but like their best player is a top 100 player in Alperen Sengun. When you look at these teams, you compare them to the Raptors, who have an all-NBA level guy in Siakam, a rising, hopefully, maybe not starting more, maybe we don't have those expectations for him, but a prolific player in Scotty Barnes. They're in a different tier, you know what I mean?
No, I still disagree with that. Maybe I'm a little bit too harsh. I might be a little bit too harsh now that I'm thinking about it, but I'm a man of my word, and I'm still putting them at F. And as for the Houston Rockets, like you said, I think they're like below an F. They're like I said,
relegation,
they're expulsion, bro, ASAP, immediately. Like they're not even allowed in this facility right now because like if you're a tanking team, I don't want to make this part too long, but if you're a tanking team, you should have no worries and no stress because you know you're gonna be ass. But the level of ass that they've been, they have nothing to look forward to. Jalen Green hasn't been that amazing this season. KPJ is KPJ, and your top 3, number 2 overall pick or whatever he was, he's not getting the right opportunity. So like with how he's being coached, all the issues are just amplified.
Bro, they're literally a college. They're a college team. The oldest player on that
nuclear waste.
The oldest player on that team is Boban. And then after that, I think it's like Jayshawn Tate, who's like 27 years old. Like they don't have a lot of
4th-year player.
Yeah. So it's like, listen, that's
level,
NCAA right there.
They're a level of bad that I think is actively detrimental to the players they're trying to develop. They have the worst coach in the NBA by far, who we're all happy for him. He got a chance. Everyone was rooting for him. It's horrific. He clearly has no locker room support there. Doesn't lead them well. The way he uses his teams, the way he uses his talent, the way he deploys them to players he gives minutes to. You ask a Rockets fan about Deshaun Nix, and they want him under a prison, 6 feet deep.
They hate him.
Hell, they hate him with all his heart. And it makes sense because he gets a lot of minutes and he's not good.
Yeah.
Like, nobody there is benefiting from their current structure.
Absolutely
not. So they are bottom of the F tier, but then we still got teams like Charlotte. Again, LaMelo's been out. Don't really have a lot of direction. They should be in and they probably are in the Wemby conversation. So hopefully, like for their sake,
for
sure. For their sake, maybe they get there. Detroit, Cade's injury kind of that's what I'm saying. Like Cade's injury really threw everything off. But even outside of that, like Jaden Ivey hasn't been as great as you'd like him to be. Like he's been
straight.
That's what I'm saying, but like
he's a rookie point guard.
Right.
I feel like they're F because of like unfortunate circumstance, right? Like Cade got hurt and ruined their season, just wasted a year. So
the only thing that's a slight red flag for me is like they got so many centers on their team, and at that point, like how many bigs can you really like develop on that team? The only bigs that should be important to you is Jalen Durham because he's different.
Yeah, I mean, Isaiah Stewart's going to be the odd man out. Like, obviously, he has to get paid soon. He'll be on a different team. I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Is that going to next year, I assume they're going to keep Wiseman around, take that risk on him. It's going to be like a Nurkic and Jokic situation where they had these 2 young bigs and like, one hits, cool. Other one goes. I kind of think that's what they're going to do with Duren and Wiseman.
Yeah.
Which, maybe one of them will turn into a 2-time MVP. Who knows?
Let's move on to the next
I'm out on Wiseman. That's done. That train is up with.
That's the F tier. Oh, I put the Nets in there for obvious reasons. I don't think we got too much explanation for that. Okay. They lost their 2 stars and they're thrown into a rebuild. Like that can't. Your goal was to win a championship, and now you don't have any of those players on your team anymore. You're stuck with Ben Simmons, who has been an utter failure. That people are now wondering what's his future in the league. Every teammate that goes there hates him, and it seems like he hates everything about his career, and nobody wants to be around him. Nothing has gone right for them.
What were the Nets supposed to do about like? This season, what were they supposed to do? Did they have any other choice but to not be F tier? Like they were.
I mean, they were supposed to win a championship until they decided they didn't want to pay Kyrie, and he blew it up.
That has touched every single tier in the NBA over the past half season. This is crazy,
honestly.
Yeah,
that's the F tier, man. Spurs, they're just first year rebuild, whatever. They're irrelevant.
We're going to take a quick break from the show to tell you guys about Underdog Fantasy, the best and easiest way to play fantasy sports online, and it's super simple to get in on the action. All you have to do is hit higher or lower on your favorite player stats for the night, and if you hit 5 picks in a single night, you can win up to 20 times your money in just one night of hoops. And also, if you sign up today using promo code TD3, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100, and that's free money to play with. So get started today using Underdog Fantasy and promo code TD3.
Donovan, who is your D tier?
All right. Like I think a lot of us are going to be here. I have a lot of teams in the D tier. So
I have 9.
Okay. What do I have? I think I might have 10. All right. So here we go. So I have Portland. I have Minnesota. I have Utah. I have the Lakers. I have the Hawks. I have the Nets.
Okay.
I have the Magic. Dang, I have a lot of people. I have the Wizards. I have the Bulls, and I have the Raptors.
That's essentially the same as me.
I lost count. Yeah, I put the Raptors in D tier because again, they're 3 games under 500. Like they're mid, and they have a little bit of talent, so they could do that. I put Brooklyn in the D tier just because they got a decent haul back for Kevin Durant, and for trading all those picks away to go get James Harden, they were able to replenish a little bit, and so they're not in as bad of a shape as they were like a decade ago when they were starting another rebuild. So
the bar's the floor.
It's okay. listen, considering what they were at the beginning of the year, you have a couple of nice players in Mikal Bridges. Dorian Finney-Smith is still there. So, like, you have some trade assets going into the offseason. So, they're not in a terrible situation.
They did the best they could, like you said. But they're also in a rebuild in year one where they don't have control over their pick for 4 years. So, it's like, it's not as bad as it was in 2012, but it's still pretty horrible compared to the rest of the league.
That's fair. Damn. That's fair. I also want to give just a little credit because there was a stretch where they looked pretty good. So, if we're looking at it in totality, they're probably a little higher than F.
Mm-hmm. Mo, what's your D tier look like?
So my D tier is not nearly as deep as you guys. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams.
Oh, okay.
And those 6 teams, starting in the East, are the Brooklyn Nets, of course, the Atlanta Hawks, Washington Wizards, and the Chicago Bulls.
That's
and
it.
Then in the West,
okay.
Yeah, and in the West, I got the Blazers, and then I have, of course, the Minnesota Timberwolves. I feel like it's hard to distinguish this season, but specifically like for these teams, they have so many things in common, more so every team except for the Wizards and the Chicago Bulls because they're just like mid and they don't do shit.
Yeah.
But they've made like seismic moves within their organization, and they all, if not backfired, haven't materialized like whatsoever. For the Atlanta Hawks, you have so many picks just to be fucking mid, and I'm pretty sure right now they're playing against the New York Knicks and they're probably getting their back blown out by Quentin Grimes. So it's just all down bad over
Nasty
there.
Statement.
I talk about them way too much. And then for the Brooklyn Nets, like we just talked about them 2 seconds ago, it's all up and down, all down bad over there. For the Minnesota Timberwolves, they've been pretty good as of late, but at the same time, they're still like 2 games over 500. So take it or leave it over there. And as for the Portland Trailblazers, they might be one of the most depressing teams in the entire NBA because it's like you did all these moves.
Before we get too deep into every single team, let me tell you on my list real quick because I have the most extensive one. So I'll list mine and then we can go team by team on mine because I think I have all the people you had as well.
Okay.
So cool. I got first the Lakers.
Okay.
Minnesota, the Golden State Warriors.
Oh.
Which y'all didn't have yet, so I'm kind of interested to hear why y'all have them at C, given that they're the 11th seed. Portland, the Magic, the Bulls, the Wizards, the Hawks, and the Raptors. So pretty much the same thing y'all got, same conglomeration, but I have Golden State in there. So let's start with them.
Okay.
I have them that low because their expectations were go back-to-back. Everyone's like, the young guys are going to come in, take a leap. They're going to keep doing what they're doing and balance, rebuild with still being a championship window. Everything about that house of cards collapsed. They're the 11th seed right now, I think, but it fluctuates a lot. Curry's out for another few weeks. That's been fucking them over a lot. He's injured a lot nowadays. We're kind of starting to get to the point where we got to talk about him as an injury-prone star. And there's no way any of us could think right now that they're going to be a championship player if the season ended today. Like, we would need a seismic turnaround in only 26 games. It's just in terms of expectations versus reality, they have to be D to me.
Okay. Here's why they're a C. The fact that Steph has missed a lot of games and they're still 500, to me, that's why they're at C. Normally, if the Warriors are missing Steph, like even when he just goes to the bench, their numbers plummet. And a lot of times he goes out, and when he went out the first time, a lot of us thought like, okay, are the Warriors, who are already struggling, are they just going to fall off the map and the hole is going to be too deep for them to climb back out of once Steph gets there? They've been able to maintain with him out. So I think once he gets back, they're going to be okay. There was a time where they were climbing up the standings with Steph and they were getting out of the play-in conversation, trying to like solidify themselves in 6. So I think for them being able to stabilize without Steph for a majority of the season or for a good chunk of the season, that kind of offsets a little bit of the like finals hangover for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, I'm just like, to what avail? Like, it's here they stabilized and they had the 6 seed for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Would we still, even at that point when they were rolling for their standards, which means what? They won like 8 out of 13 games? Sick. It's still like nobody expected them to be championship level when they were at that peak of their season. You know what I mean? I just feel like we haven't seen them clicking to the point where we're like, oh, they're back. They can be a contender again. And if anything short of that, with Steph Curry, it probably in the last couple of years, maybe 3 years of his prime, is another failure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Now you're kind of talking me into it.
Nah, don't do that. Stay here. No. Keep them in C. Keep them in C, Mo. Keep them in C. They're going to be just fine. They're going to be just
How
fine.
could you say that at this point of the year? Nothing about them has been fine.
It's the Warriors. Like this, they are. I promise you.
They're
if we get to the
playoffs,
right? Let's say, and listen, it's going to be a very hard. Actually, not even. They are a game and a half out of the 6th seed. let's say they get there and their first round matchup is Sacramento, right? Are you taking the Warriors or are you taking the Kings in the first round matchup?
Of course, I'm taking them over Sacramento. But after that, now we get into the conversation where I'm never picking the Warriors.
The entire Western Conference is wide open.
But it's really not that wide open. After that, they're going to either play probably the Suns or the Nuggets. Are you taking them over the Suns or Nuggets? Listen, I know you like to joke about the Suns, but let's not be insane. Come on.
No, I'm saying if we get to a playoff series and you have a team that knows how to win in the playoffs the way that Golden State does, I don't think that we can just write them off. Because
I hear you.
Right.
I hear you, but I think the Nuggets will steamroll them.
It's steamroll.
Yeah. I think they will steamroll them. As currently constructed today, they still have time to get back and try to like make that little run before the playoffs and look more like the Warriors. But if they look the way they look today, or let's say look before Steph Curry got hurt, the Nuggets will steamroll them. The Nuggets are unfuckwittable in the West right now besides the Suns, I think. Yeah. Given the Warriors look like this. Obviously things can change, like you said, you can't write off the Warriors, but if we're just assuming they look like they look today, I see no chance of them winning a championship.
Man, if they would have traded for OG Anunoby,
that would have changed things. That would have changed things for sure.
An entirely different conversation. But instead of OG Anunoby, we're here talking about Gary Payton Jr. And he's not going to be available until what? 2, 3, 4 months from now or something?
No, not 4 months.
I don't know.
But they're aiming for the playoffs to get him back. So like a month maybe.
So it's like GP2 into that line, they're going to be straight. They're going to be just
GP2 has been hurt all year. GP2 is a fucking friends we made along the way at this point. They had to redo the whole trade because they realized his body was still fucked. I don't know if I'd be writing in GP2 like he's going to be a playoff contributor.
Exactly, man.
I think GP2 is going to give them a little bit of boost that they need. I think the fact that he was there last year, that continuity obviously is going to help.
Absolutely,
and
for sure.
It's going to be a plus. He's not going to come in and make things worse for them.
Oh yeah.
And so I think that Golden State still has a very good chance to get to the Western Conference Finals, maybe even the Finals. I still trust in them, and as long as Steph is healthy, I don't know if I can realistically pick someone to steamroll them in a playoff series. I have to see. I have to see that before.
I'm being dramatic when I say that. I'm not like it's not going to be a sweep, but I think it will be like the Nuggets will win with if you simulate this thing 100 times, 80 times the Nuggets are going to win.
That's wild.
So maybe that means it's 6 games. Whatever.
That's crazy. We're just gonna be done with these. I try to be decorative today. It's not working.
Yeah, but it's mostly a health thing. You said if Steph's healthy, but like that's the question. They haven't been healthy at all this year for the most part. Like it's always something with them right now.
Yeah,
and that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I just don't think this is their year. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's clear. I think it's different.
Yeah.
Maybe they like make some Cinderella run and figure it out with some fucking insane legacy game shit out of Steph, but it's clearly not their year. I can tell you that with definitively.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, who else is in this tier?
Minnesota. We all had Minnesota in here.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
I think
we beat the horse a lot about Minnesota. How disappointing they are.
Yeah.
We know what it is. The Rudy Gobert trade was a disaster.
Anthony Edwards has been hooping as of late.
Correct.
But other than that, like
maybe next
Mike Conley's there, and they're going to be a lot better the second half of the season for sure.
I agree.
And who knows how different they're going to look when Karl-Anthony Towns finally comes back.
Is he going to come back? Who knows? They haven't said anything yet.
Nobody knows. He's still out indefinitely.
There's been zero update since he got hurt. And it was like, when did he get hurt? Was it November 27th, something like
November 28th.
Oh, that was a crazy guess. But yeah.
Yeah.
No update. It's insane. Is he alive? I don't know. Somebody check on Jordan Woods. She needs help.
Yeah.
Oh no! Listen, they're chilling. I saw them on IG. He's fine. If he can try,
he said he saw them on IG.
Cat's fine.
He's playing PUBG. He's all right.
That's what I'm saying. He's traveling the world with Jordan Woods. He's okay. I promise you.
But yeah, at some point, maybe like after the All-Star break, maybe next week, we have to have an Anthony Edwards conversation because going into the season, I talked a lot about how people were crowning him very early, and I wasn't seeing that last year. Like I see it in the playoff run. I see why people say that, but it was like, let's relax. He hasn't made the star leap. Yeah. We assume he might. And the beginning of the year, I was like, it was right. He wasn't quite making the leap. He had struggled to fit with Gobert. But man, this last month, 6 weeks, he's been insane. Yeah. Like legitimately insane as a rim scorer.
Yeah, he's been fucking, oh my goodness. This is what I'm talking about. I remember we had a whole conversation about Tyrese Halliburton versus Anthony Edwards or whatever.
I mean, I'm still taking Tyrese. Like,
Anthony Edwards.
I think no, it was Cade Cunningham. We were talking about Cade Cunningham and Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, I would still.
Really?
Yes, I would still take Tyrese Halliburton over Anthony
That's not crazy.
Edwards.
I mean, it's pretty close. That's not crazy at all.
No, I remember. I thought we were talking about Tyrese versus Anthony.
We might have at some point, but we had a big conversation about Cade versus Ant.
We have a lot of combos.
That's a different conversation.
We do a lot of TikToks over here, so we probably had both.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
We've been talking a lot.
I'm just so proud of Anthony Edwards in point blank period. He's figured it out.
Me too. Like he's legitimately making a superstar elite. Like when you look at him, it was like always like, oh, the athleticism. He could bring that together. With Khalil, he has this burst out of his first step as a ball handler, tenacious rim scorer. He has a jump shot. And it was always like the jump shot wasn't quite what you want from 3-point range. His passing was meh. The defense wasn't quite there. But it's all coming together now. And I forgot the numbers. I saw someone tweet it out. But his rim scoring was like ridiculous. It was like almost 70% for a month or something like that.
Yeah, dude. He's going to put himself next year. He's going to solidify himself as a top 3 shooting guard in the NBA.
Top 3?
Easy. Yeah. Easy.
Interesting.
Top 3.
Okay. So behind Booker and Mitchell, you think he's going to be better than Jaylen Brown?
Ooh, I forgot about Jaylen Brown.
But I see what you mean.
Yeah, no, definitely,
okay.
definitely.
Second tier, I see you. Okay,
for sure. Yeah,
that wouldn't be crazy.
He's gonna be in that combo for sure.
Okay, but yeah, outside of that, we don't gotta talk too much. They're a D tier team. It hasn't worked out. They thought they would be a top 4 seed. Nothing's worked. What about Portland?
Yeah,
Tell me about Portland's mediocre ass team.
Let's not tell you about Portland. This is worst case scenario for them is being just mid, like the definition of mid. Simons just got hurt last night. Like there's the All-Star break is coming up, so maybe like that's gonna be able to take a little bit of his recovery time outside of like missing games and stuff like that. But there's nothing really for them. Like nothing looks good. The future doesn't look bright. This season doesn't look bright. I don't know if they have the assets to go make a major trade. Honestly, I think the only thing that could save the Portland Trailblazers is if they buy low on Ben Simmons and he magically goes to the
They're in hell.
If
man, that's a wet dream right there.
That's the only thing that I can see is that if they buy low on Ben Simmons, he goes to Portland where nobody cares about him, and all of a sudden, like everybody's okay with him, and he ends up turning. That feels like the only option for them to even have somewhat of a big three, but like. Injuries have plagued them all season. The defense fell off after the first half of the season. Dame has been great, but that's what we say every year is that Dame's great, but the rest of the team hasn't like been able to put it together around him to give him enough. So
I think their biggest
just Portland.
Even if Ben Simmons was back to Ben Simmons, it's not a good fit for him there because they already have Simons and Lillard. Like that, he'd be the third less offensively talented guard with the ball in his hands. So like it just. Unless they're shipping out Simons or somebody else too, which maybe that's what it is. I think that might be the answer is they have to trade Simons at some point. If another star becomes available, it might have to be Simons and Sharp and go get a star. Like, what if Cat becomes available? Do they trade Simons and Sharp for Cat?
That's interesting. Yeah, I think I might do that.
That's the type of shit they got to be thinking about going to next year because they're going to have some picks to play with. They have those 2 young players. They have Cam Reddish now, who maybe he makes some kind of leap with them, finally giving him playing time.
Shout out Cam Reddish.
But yeah, man, they're rudderless. It's just like biding time, just enjoying Lillard's vibes while he wants to be there.
I don't even know if Cat wouldn't be enough for them to win. So I don't know. In my head, when I just think about the Blazers, there's just no realistic way for them to get that perfect star talent alongside Damian Lillard. I don't think Cat's going to be the solution or anything like that. He'll make them definitely better, but no one's picking them to win the West.
At least it would be different too, because we've seen Dame for basically his entire, or I guess since Aldridge has left, we've seen Dame for the last like 7-8 years play with another kind of like undersized backcourt mate. They're both like really talented scorers, and at least if you can get a front court player, a center, right, and just have a different look to how you approach offense, maybe that is like the jump start.
A different type of sadness, sure. At the end of the day,
I don't know. I mean, but they're running it back.
It is what it is. We all know that they didn't have much hope. Yeah. They kind of tricked people in the first couple weeks of the season and started off hot, but they're the Blazers we all thought they'd be at the end of the day.
You hate to see it.
Let's fire off through the rest of this D tier so we can move on.
All right.
Magic. They're the Magic. They're rebuilding. They're doing their thing. They found a star.
They're a good rebuilding team. As of late, they've been killing it, especially Markelle Fultz.
Paolo can't make a jump shot anymore, which is concerning, but he hit the rookie wall after having a big usage rate early on. But we saw what he could do, so like we all know he's going to be a star eventually.
Thanks.
Yeah, exactly.
The Bulls are the
Markelle
Bulls.
Fultz, humongous shout out to him, bro. He is insanely fun to watch. And now I think the Orlando Magic finally.
Don't hate on that. Don't hate on Markel like that. He's been
fun to watch.
He's been better. And he's been good. If you've been following Markel for a minute,
Yeah.
It's like it's fun to see him like get back.
It's good to see him thrive. Everyone's rooting for him.
Yeah, exactly. And I think over the last 30 games that they played, they're over 500 by like maybe 3 games or something like that. So they're like 17 and 14 or something, if my math is correct. And Markel is a face of that, forefront of that.
Yeah.
It's lit times in Orlando, man. That's how you want to rebuild a team. You can be ass, it's okay, but just have some fun vibes and also try to start building good habits and along the way.
Yeah, just have a direction
to success. Exactly. So that's a great young
We know
team.
what they're trying to build. They're trying to build a very switchable team with a lot of size around 2 big forwards that can handle the ball and then versatile guards who can play off ball in Suggs and Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony's not going to be there long term, but at least Suggs, that's the vision. So at least we can point to that and see a team start to form.
Shout out to them.
I don't want to talk about the Bulls. The Bulls are the Bulls. They're mid as fuck.
Yeah.
The last 6 weeks, Zach LaVine's numbers are a little bit better than they were to start the year. He's back up to like 26 points per game in that time. But they're the Bulls. When they lost Lonzo, they lost any chance of being relevant. I don't even know what to say besides the fact that the Bulls.
Lonzo, please come back.
They're top 10 defense.
We need you, Lonzo. They need big baller energy out there in Chicago. It's not there.
They need a lot. I don't know if Lonzo, I don't know if Prime Lonzo's walking through those doors ever again.
I don't even know if Lonzo's enough for them to turn around whatever the hell they got.
He's not, clearly.
At this point.
The big baller got it.
Bring in LiAngelo.
Yeah.
All right. Well, same thing with Washington.
Nasty.
Washington is another team that's just content with being mediocre as fuck with their mid-3. They're going to keep Kuzma this year and pay him in the summer, which if he wants to stay, good for him. Kuzma, Porzingis, Beal is disgusting, but we're going to see it for the next 3 years.
Y'all got it. I have no Washington words. I don't want to talk.
I have nothing to say about Washington, man. Other than who's the dude that we were talking about before we started the
Jordan
podcast?
Goodwin. Shout out Jordan Goodwin. He's a nice role player they found. Eventually, he'll be very good playing for the Bucks or something, or helping them win a championship.
Damn, he already trying to move his ass. Holy shit!
He's 100% going to get traded in the coming years because he's too good and too relevant to a winning team. No chance he stays with that team.
Shout out to Jordan Goodwin. I have zero reason to watch the Washington Wizards. Shout out to Denny Avdija. I think he's having a better season than he was.
Not really. Denny Avdija kind of sucks at offense.
Other than that, I don't want to talk about them. So let's move on.
I actually watch him a decent amount because I like watching Kuzma, but it's not fun. All right.
Wow.
We talked about Toronto. Don't got to talk about them anymore. The Hawks. We talked about the Hawks at length, man.
Yeah. Who cares? Next.
Mid. DeJounte didn't solve their problems. Trey started off slow. They're just not that good.
Facts.
Okay.
Trash.
Let's get to the C tier.
Cool.
Donovan, who was your C tier teams?
All right. We got the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Los Angeles Clippers, the Golden State Warriors, the Pelicans, the Heat, the Knicks, and the Pacers.
Okay, we have very similar.
So that's like, what is that? The 7? Yeah, 7 teams in the C tier.
Nice.
Mo, who you got?
So I got the Golden State Warriors. I got OKC. I got the Lakers. Okay. I have Orlando. I got the Pacers. Just tremendous vibes. All right. And then I also have. No, I think that's it. I see a team that I placed on there, but I want to place.
I forgot the Lakers. I didn't say I had them in D. We didn't talk about them. Donovan, where'd you have the Lakers?
I had the Lakers in my D tier as well.
Okay. Real quick, go back to them real fast. They would have been F. They're obviously the most disappointing team in the league for the expectations they had. But I put them up to D because they made a promising trade, and hopefully it sets them up well for next year. It's really that simple. And I assume, Mo, you had the same thought process. You just put them to C for that reason.
Yeah, exactly. We're revamping your team. They were in the F, but with the major revamp that they did, that boosted them up to C. Now it's kind of disappointing that we haven't seen this revamp plus like LeBron James and Anthony Davis playing.
They're about to play in like 45
Davis
minutes. I think LeBron's playing.
JaMychal. Yeah, exactly. Anthony Davis has been playing like JaMychal Green, so it was just like...
Oh, relax. He had one bad game.
Right,
relax.
He's been terrible.
No, he hasn't.
But regardless of the fact...
Awful.
They're a C.
See, people just be hating on Haiti for no reason. Haiti has not been awful. He had one off night.
I just wanted to jump in. I just wanted to jump on the hate.
People just be talking. But yeah. So yeah, same thought process. You just I put them up to D instead of C because I think they're still cooked for this year, but for next year it's promising. If I thought they had a chance of using this team to be relevant this year, I probably would have said C too. But I'm not getting my hopes up. For my my C teams, I got the Clippers, the Pelicans, the Jazz, the Pacers, the Knicks, and Miami.
Okay.
I forgot to put the Clippers there.
So we all have the Pelicans.
Why is Miami
there? Why is Miami in there?
Yeah.
Where would you rather put them? I feel like they're just having a very average, slightly disappointing, nothing special season. A lot of injuries.
Yeah, that is true.
Like B and A are people that are having like a pleasant surprise or an amazing season. Miami's like been disappointing because of injuries, but they're getting back to where they should be. They're like the 6th seed right now. Just average ass year, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
My exact reasoning.
You were gonna say something about the Pelicans, and I'm really
let's talk about them.
I didn't have the Pelicans there.
Should you got them higher?
Yeah, I had them higher.
Okay. So, in case you haven't noticed, they lost 10 games in a row, and they're in the gutter right now. They're in the play-in range. They're no longer a good team. And Zion Williamson had a setback in his injury. He re-aggravated his hamstring, and he's going to be out for weeks to come.
God, man.
It never ends. They had something good going, which is why they're not D or F. They looked great when Zion was healthy. We thought Zion was absolutely him, playing with the top 10 player in the league. But now he's not here, and he's never here. He's played 23% of his games since he was drafted. They have a star they cannot rely on. They're not good enough to win when he's not there, despite having lots of guys. They got to be C, right?
They have to be. They have to be. It's tough. It's tough. Now look, they're still top 10 in the league in net rating, which is like a testament to just how good that they were before they fell off the face of the earth, right? The fact that you can lose 10 in a row and be terrible and also
not
in
the playing range.
Yeah. Like, so I don't know. I want to give them credit for the beginning of the season. This is the same reason why I put Brooklyn in the detail. I want to give teams credit for like the entire season.
Yeah.
If we're looking at them probably over the last 30 games, New Orleans will probably be F.
They lost 10 out of those 30 in 2 weeks.
But we have to give them credit for what they were cooking earlier in the season, and so I'll put them in C. And hopefully, I really, really hope that Zion can come back like before the playoffs and actually give us some actual like minutes, because we deserve to see Zion in the playoffs at this point.
Zion deserves it. It's such a shame that like people talk a lot about like his injuries and like it's adding up. I mostly just feel bad for him because he's losing such incredibly valuable development time at a young age. Mm-hmm. Having your prime development years in your first 3-4 seasons be lost to injury completely, having no ability to get playoff reps, that's so bad for your long-term development.
In the last 4 years that he's been in the NBA, I believe he was drafted 2019. So 4 years. Holy shit. He has played 118 games in his NBA career in total.
Crazy.
That's tough.
In total. So that just goes to show how, like you said, all the development time that he missed. And it'll be interesting to see just how much that matters. For him,
that's
I
a crazy
think it'll
thing.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
Much because he's just like that OP.
Anybody
of a
who
player.
misses a majority of their first and third year and half their second year should not be a fucking superstar in their fourth year. But he did it. When he was healthy, he was a legitimate superstar. So the fact that he's doing that with no development, imagine if he has 3 years of healthiness in a row. He's on the exact same path Joel Embiid is on. We're just waiting for him to get healthy like Joel did. And now we're seeing Joel as an MVP frontrunner every year. He's just big Zion. They're the same person.
Yeah, man. Man, that is crazy to think about. But yeah, anyways, let's continue to your other C list.
The other C teams?
C tiers. Yeah.
I had the Jazz here. I think Donovan had him in D.
Yeah.
Okay.
I gave him C because they're a play-in team like we thought they'd be now. They've kind of fell off. They're probably gonna fall out of the play-in as someone like the Lakers or Blazers takes their spot. But they did a good job making more trades, getting more picks. Lowry Markkanen blossomed into a star. They did everything you want from a first-year rebuilding team. So when I think of D and F, I think of like it's a disappointment in some way, and I think nothing about this season has been a disappointment for the Jazz.
That's fair. That's fair. I put them at D just because I thought that their drop off and from basically like the 1 seed to where they are now, and I'm getting out ahead of them falling out of the playoff, right? Or out of the play-in. That's what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And so I think that they're going to get caught by somebody. I think Oklahoma City is going to be the last team to make the play-in. Yeah? I think they are. I think they jump in over them and over the Lakers. And so I'm projecting on that one.
Okay. Even if they fall out, I don't care. They're rebuilding. They were shooting above expectations prior to this year. That's just gravy to me.
Okay.
Yeah, number 1 seed in the West for like 2.5, maybe 3 weeks or whatever it was.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we all had the Knicks in C, right?
Yes.
Ooh,
they could.
Yeah.
You would think they'd be higher because Randall and Brunson have both been great, like legitimately extremely good for what you'd expect from them. But man, RJ Barrett fucking sucks. And it tanks you a lot when you're paying a guy max money and he's not very good, doesn't contribute much impact at all. Hard to recover from that. He just can't help but
How did
giggle.
they come from that? Huh?
I've tried so hard to defend RJ Barrett on this podcast. I've tried so hard to shield him from the hate that you guys spew at him, and I can't do it. I can't do it. Right? Like if the piece that was holding the Knicks back from getting Donovan Mitchell was RJ Barrett, right? And you come out and you play like this, you have to be gone. Like you either have to be gone or you have to be open to all this criticism, and that is exactly where we're at. And because like if RJ is the player that we thought he was going to be, I mean, I was campaigning for RJ that he was potentially going to be an all-star in the next coming year.
Great! Oh my goodness!
He had all-star potential because he showed flashes.
Boo this man.
Those flashes were not there this year. They are not there.
I really wish you would have stood on that take with your chest earlier in the season.
What
all-time clip?
What that he?
I thought you never said that on the pod. I wish you would have. That'd been funny.
Yeah.
Dang. Wait, I thought
What's
I did.
it
I thought
Not really.
we've had so much RJ hate. I thought I have said something before.
I've been saying for 3 years that RJ Barrett is simply not good at anything. He's not above average in any tangible skill set, and that remains. Like, sure, you can say he's a decent on-ball defender, and I think it ends there.
I mean, but he's been inconsistent at times this year.
That's what I'm saying. He's decent. I gave him a little bit of credit, but like he's not a good shooter, not a good ball handler, not a good passer, not a good finisher, not a good off-ball defender, the list goes on, man.
The finishing stuff since he's gotten into the league that's the weirdest just like drop off in his game, because at Duke he was so good finishing through contact, and that's why I thought that was one of the reasons why I was actually like excited for him.
He wasn't though.
He was.
In theory, he was, but his numbers are always bad at Duke, and people chalk it up to he's playing with other stars, and the system doesn't really allow him to cook. The same thing we said when he got to the Knicks and they had no spacing. That high school RJ was a really good finisher, but for some things have held him back in all three levels that stop him from doing that after then. Mm-hmm. At some point, you just got to realize that he's just not fucking good at this. You know what I mean?
You know what's so funny? Like, it's so funny because I think sometime earlier this season, people were starting to compare RJ Barrett to Andrew Wiggins, trying to say that they're in the similar
it's just because they're Canadian.
In their career.
that's
you couldn't be more wrong.
They're just 6'9" and Canadian. Like that's the only like possible comparison that you can make to them. So it's like
6'9", and it's just like
6'9", I don't know.
It's so
he's not. He's like 6'7".
That's what I was thinking.
Wiggins is just such a completely different player who is extremely gifted on a lot of sides of the court. He just wasn't allowed.
Wow, the Warriors have really changed.
But he wasn't put in the best position.
The Warriors have really changed
you're
the
rewriting
narrative on
Andrew Wiggins' history right now.
Relax.
You're completely rewriting Andrew Wiggins' history. It was not that he wasn't in a bad situation. He was prioritizing the wrong parts of his game and trying to be a go-to scorer and not focusing on defense, catch and shoot, these type of things that the Warriors forced him to get into because they saw the vision that you're not this guy. It wasn't that he had all the opportunity in the world. He was just probably viewing himself and being viewed because of his draft status as the wrong mold of player.
Yeah, exactly. He was in a bad situation.
He was the bad situation.
In my mind.
What do you mean? Like Andrew Wiggins.
Okay, never mind. I see what you mean. I see why you say that now.
Andrew Wiggins for like 7 years was one of the most disappointing players in the league. And then he goes to the Warriors and he's the fourth option, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, he's so good." You're the fourth option, fam. Like all you have to do, you have two jobs: make threes, guard people. That's it.
Yeah.
Like they took things off his plate and he got better.
When you say he was in a bad situation, you mean he was cast into the wrong role. Okay, true. That's what it is. But when I hear bad situation, I think like he wasn't given the opportunity to find his role when he was given all the opportunity in the world, all of it.
Yeah, he was given all the opportunity, but it just wasn't. He just wasn't meant to be that guy.
Yeah, you're right.
Be the face of a franchise or organization.
That's the thing, though.
Like that.
You're right. It's not the same for RJ Barrett because he's currently in that role that Andrew Wiggins is in now. Like he's supposed to be the third guy doing the stuff that you need to do to win games.
Exactly.
He's just not good at that either.
Yeah, exactly. They put him as the first option or semi-first option a couple years ago. Then now he's like bona fide second. And now
what does he do? Oh my god!
God damn, bro.
All right, next team, man.
He steals money right now. That's what he's doing.
That's all the teams I have.
The Clippers. The Clippers are in C.
Oh, we're in C. We're in C. My bad. Yeah, Clippers are in C.
Yeah.
Talk about the Clippers.
Yeah, they are the most inconsistent team because their stars cannot play together. They have 2 stars who remain hurt. Kawhi Leonard, he came back and played like a game or 4 at the beginning of the season. Then he was out. It seems like every other night, either Paul George or Kawhi Leonard is out. They try to get John Wall in there. He's off the team now. They just made a couple of trades. They seem to be in constant transition this year. I don't know what they are because we haven't seen the Clippers at full strength for 2 weeks this entire season. So, like,
they're still solid, though. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. They're solid. Shout out Ty Lue. That was one of the reasons why we thought they were going to be really good, is because they had a lot of depth coming into the season. And we thought that if Kawhi and PG could be there, then they can obviously take that step, elevate. That has not been the case. They are disappointing, and it is simply because they are inconsistent and they can't stay healthy.
Yep. And then they just redid their whole fucking supporting cast at the deadline, which is interesting. So it's like, yeah, like you said, C is a team that's just having an average season that's not special or particularly disappointing. And that's what we got to think with Clippers, right? Because it would be very disappointing, but they've somehow kept themselves afloat through all this. So it's just like a nothing burger of a season.
Facts.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really think of them as much at all. And other than like
Clippers, this is just
thinking about them redoing their whole entire supporting cast, getting rid of Luke Kennard, the John Wall experiment was a massive flop. Fucking hilarious. Yeah, RIP John. Oh, I'm not gonna say that, but for John Wall, man, like
I'll say it. RIP John Wall's career, gone but never forgotten.
Okay, career.
At the beginning of the season, dude was over here talking about, you got to guard Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and also me. How are you going to stop that? How are you going to stop that?
He was just talking.
And then he went ahead, fast forward.
I respect the confidence. I'll say that.
A couple months into the season, he's talking shit about his last team, the Houston Rockets. He gets shipped back there, and they buy him out.
Fired.
And now he's the face of unemployment. Damn.
Yeah, it sucks. I don't want not too much on John Wall, because like we all love him. We wanted him to succeed again, but it's over.
Yeah. Damn.
All right,
I don't really have any thoughts about the Clippers, bro.
There's nothing to say. Like Donovan said, they've been inconsistent because they haven't been available, and until they are, we can't really take much from them.
Yeah, exactly.
I got the Pacers in C. Did y'all have Pacers in C?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all agree.
Tremendous vibes.
Right now, they started off really hot. They were the 6th seed when Tyrese was healthy to start the year. He got hurt. They fell off, and they haven't recovered since. But they had their young player blossom into a legitimately rising star, so that's a win for the year.
Yep, 100%. Tyrese All-Star proved Wally Zerbiak wrong, so that's really
fuck
nice.
Wally Zerbiak, what a loser.
That's really nice for them. And they were finally able to get kind of some direction with him, with Halliburton, with Miles Turner. Buddy Hield is still doing Buddy Hield things, just knocking down threes. Benedict Mathurin looks good, as you know. Also, like he looks like he's going to be able to do some stuff moving forward. So yeah, I'll say C, because again, when Tyrese was healthy, they were just fine.
Yeah, exactly. And no one expected anything out of them, bro.
In fact, I for sure thought they were going to be in the Wemby conversation.
You and me both.
Yeah, absolutely. I was over here rooting for them to go ahead and get Wemby because I just thought that combination was going to be crazy. But apparently they're way too good, and I'd rather see them. I don't want to say I'd rather see them like this, but you know something interesting about the Pacers just dawned on my mind, bro.
What's up?
They're just not meant to go ahead and get the number 1 overall pick. They're one of the only teams in NBA history who's never gotten the number 1
That's
overall
not an
pick
accident.
before.
It's not meant to be or anything like that. It's not an accident. They have an owner who, the old ass lady, I think it's an old lady owner that hasn't owned the team for a long time, and they just like fielding a competitive team and refuse to rebuild ever. Like it's completely by design.
I respect that.
Yeah, that's their MO. They said, we're in Indiana. We're not a large market team. We have a core group of fans that love basketball, and we want to give them the best product we can every year.
Also, their owner is Herbert Simon.
I was wrong. I was thinking of the Pelicans lady. I forgot her name. I realized that after I said it. I was thinking about the Pelicans owner. I forgot her name.
You're in your bag regardless.
But either way, that's their MO every year is field a competent team, and they refuse to rebuild because they don't think their market can deal with that.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to them for re-signing Miles Turner as well. After all these goddamn trade rumors.
I think they should trade him to the Lakers, but neither here nor there.
He's still going to be in trade rumors over the summer. Like
facts. It never ends.
They don't want him.
For the rest of his life. He can be retired. He still won't be in trade rumors. He's going to be retired from this retirement home to that retirement home across the street.
I hope he never get traded. I hope he plays his whole career at the Pacers. It'd be so funny.
That would be the most annoying thing ever. If I was Miles Turner, I would just please trade me at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Let's move on to the B tier teams.
Ooh, let's do it.
Mo, you go first this time. Who's your B tier?
All right. So for my B tier teams, this is tough because I feel like a lot of teams some teams deserve to be an A, but I just can't do it. So for B team, I have the Miami Heat. One of the reasons why I put them in B instead of C is because although they've like been not as good and started off super slow in the season, they were behind teams like Washington or in that Washington and Chicago realm, and they shot all the way up to the.
It's not hard to do.
What's that, 6th seed? And also Bam Adebayo, fucking love that dude, and he's absolutely balling out of his mind. He's being the player that a lot of people bullied him on social media to be. So he's. Okay. I have them in the B tier. I have the New Orleans Pelicans because
that's a stretch.
They did all the right things. They just can't stay healthy.
You know they should be C at best.
Yeah, no, I don't want to put them in C because. They're so deep to help keep. They're so deep, and because of their depth, it's helping keep them alive.
They're not alive. They're barely alive. They're on life support.
They lost 10 in a row, Mo. They lost 10 in a row.
Yeah, they lost 10 in a row, and they're still the 7th seed. That's so damn impressive.
I don't think they are anymore.
Are they the 7th?
No, they are.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
All right. So, and then I have the Dallas Mavericks for B as well because like. Fucking Luka, and even though they made all these moves, which is like kind of a red flag, at the end of the day, I think these moves needed to be done. They really didn't have that many choices, and I'll condemn them if it backfires for sure. And I'm backtracking on every single word that I said, but for now, I'm putting them at B. Okay. And I think that's all who I want to.
Gotcha.
Let me put the Memphis Grizzlies there as well. I need to put the Grizzlies there as well because they haven't been they've been elite. They've been the second best team in the Western Conference consistently as years went on. So, yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. We'll catch up to the rest. Cool. But I think that's it.
For my B tier, I have the Bucks, the Mavs, the Suns, OKC, and the 76ers.
Wow. OKC is that high for playing?
When we're talking about grades, it's all about what you expected from them versus what they did, right? And SGA blossomed into a legitimate top 15 player in the NBA. They have a superstar to build around now. Next year, they're getting the number 2 pick they just had, Chet Holmgren. And they're going to be probably in the play-in. Like, if things shake out the way they have, they've been surprisingly competent in every single way. They're top 10 defense. They're super well coached. They don't even have a center on the roster. They're playing Jalen Williams there, who's like 6'9". And somehow they're just, like I said, extremely competent team from a team that we thought would be one of the worst teams in the league.
Who is their head coach? Shout out to him, man.
I don't know how to say his name. It's a hard name to pronounce, so I don't want to butcher it.
Yeah, I have no idea who he is, but bro,
I got
he's
Bucks,
doing
Mavs,
his
Suns,
thing.
OKC, 76ers.
Okay. 76ers. Okay, that's interesting.
Fair. All right.
They did come off to a super.
Give us your list, Dom, before we get into them.
All right. So my B tier, I have the 76ers, I have the Cavs, I have the Grizzlies, I have the Mavericks, and I had the Thunder in C. I'm moving them up to B because because the same logic that I had with the Jazz, and I was projecting out and how they're fall off and they're going to fall out of the play-in. I'm going to apply that to OKC. I think they're going to make the play-ins. And like everything that Isaac said, Shai's also been able to like carry that offense and like not be a 3-point shooter and just get to the paint whenever he wants, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like he can single-handedly like carry a
offense is really not built for him in my mind.
It's ridiculous. So yeah, so Thunder, Grizzlies, Mavericks, Sixers, Cavs.
Okay, so we both had the Sixers in there. Mo, you have them in A tier, I assume?
Yeah, I have them at A tier. Okay. A tier. So what do you guys have them in B tier?
There's just been something off with them all year long. They just haven't been able. Like they had a really nice.
The
streak.
Offense.
They had a really nice streak where like they were winning games and they were moving back up the standings, but being able to integrate Tyrese Maxey back into the offense on top of having Harden and Embiid there and trying to make all these moving parts work. One of my biggest complaints at the beginning of the season was that I felt like Maxey wasn't able to kind of step in there and that offense wasn't able to be like cohesive. I still have that complaint. It still feels like James Harden and Joel Embiid do their thing and then Maxey goes off and does his thing, and it's not a singular offense. So
it's not cohesive at all.
Yeah, and so that's one of the complaints that I have for them. And again, they're moving up. They're moving up the seed. They haven't really gotten everything that they should have gotten out of PJ Tucker. Daniel House hasn't been great. They just traded Matisse Thybulle. There's been a lot of turnover on the roster. So they could have just been a little bit better up until this point in the season. So that's why I have them at B.
I just saved A-tier teams for people that are having great seasons based on what you want them to be. And I feel like they're having a fine season. Like they're 3 seed. They're in the mix for one of the top teams in the East. But they're a notch below the Bucks and Celtics. I think we'd all pick those two teams in the series over them pretty easily.
Yeah.
Their offense,
Yeah, absolutely.
Harden and Embiid are a great pick and roll duo. Those are numbers in terms of like I think they're the highest assist duo in the league.
Yeah, they are.
They have solid chemistry.
They've combined for like 167 assists this year.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
I think the second one was like 116, which was actually Tyrese and Buddy Hield, surprisingly. But even with that being the case, the numbers aren't terrible. But when you watch them, you're like, this is not going to be super good in the playoffs. Like, put a smart team against them that switches everything and forces you to get into, like, trick them into playing this one-on-one isolation ball they get into sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't think they've set themselves up well to give Joel Embiid the best shot of finally having his playoff moment. It's not horrible, so that's why they're B. But
do you think that's a coaching thing or a roster thing or both?
Both. I mean, he's Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers isn't the best coach in the world. He's competent, but he's not good per se. And it's a roster.
Mid as fuck. You're being way too nice.
Listen, I am. I'm trying not to get into a fuck Doc Rivers moment, but Doc Rivers sucks ass, for being honest.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess it's like, this is the James Harden you have now. He's not the prime James Harden you would have wanted. Like Donovan said, the defensive pieces they brought in are ass. PJ Tucker's washed. It's just a good team that isn't quite as good as the other ones. You know what I mean? Nothing they did wrong.
Yeah.
They just,
That is true.
So why are they
making
tier?
Yeah, so did
You're
we
making me
sway
want to
you?
slide them to the B tier.
We swayed you?
They're a team that I wanted to put them in the A tier. I think if you were to ask me this a couple weeks ago when they were steamrolling teams and they were streaking, they would have been A for sure. But they've definitely slowed down a bit. And like Tyrese Maxey just doesn't feel. I don't want to say he doesn't feel right on this team, but like he just hasn't been maximized. And I feel like they're just entire offensive system. I read through it. I see through it, and it's pokeable. They're bendable in the playoffs. Best way to say it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Joel Embiid and James Harden-led team. Two people that have notoriously been worse in the playoffs for a variety of reasons. Injuries a lot of times, burnout, unfortunate circumstances for Joel Embiid. But everybody sees a path to this team falling short in the playoffs. And until we see otherwise, I feel like we should assume that's going to be the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But they're doing what, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people assume they'll be doing.
Which is why they're B, right? Like, they're not a failure in any way.
It's just passable.
Yep. They're doing their jobs.
All right, now let's get into the real deal.
We all have the Suns in B, which
I
where'd
don't.
you
I
have
have them in A.
I have the Suns in A.
Oh, I'm cool with that. Oh, because they got KD. Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll move them
It's
up.
easy
Yeah,
to forget
yeah.
because he hasn't fucking played shit.
Let them go up
But
there.
yeah,
I'm fine with that. We'll save them. They're talking. I'll put them up in A as well. We'll amend that.
Yeah.
The Bucks. I had them in B. Did y'all have them in A?
I have them in A.
I had them in A.
I have them in A.
I thought about it because they've
been-
recovered, but because they had the slow start to the season, they still might have some shooting concerns long term. When you watch them play against the Celtics yesterday, it was not what you'd want against the
Yeah.
backups of the Celtics. It just seems like they're missing something. Obviously, it took a while for Chris to
Jay
get
Crowder.
reintegrated. Yeah. Then they got Jay Crowder, which honestly, unironically, will help. But Giannis' shooting was cold to start the year. Drew Holiday is on a fucking bender right now. Not bender. That's the wrong word. On the heater right now. And he's been amazing. Chris Middleton, not so much.
It's a frat boy.
All their other shooters, not so much. I just feel like they're not runaway. Win-wise, they've kept up. Partially because the Celtics have been a little disappointing lately. They've been up and down compared to how they started. But they don't feel like the runaway best team in the East as you'd want them to be as the Bucks, right?
Yeah, that's fair to say, but I feel like the only reason why that's so is simply because of, like, sidekick issues. Chris Middleton, it hasn't been Chris Middleton because of injury and shit like that. And if he can maintain this level of consistency towards the end of the season when it comes to strictly health, I think they'll be totally fine. And with Drew Holiday playing like this, putting up 40 pieces, he's an all-star this season too.
They will be fine for sure.
I'm licking my chops at them, bro.
Yeah, they'll definitely be totally fine. I'm just thinking that A tier should be better than being fine. It should be teams that are like having legitimately great seasons that you're above and beyond expectation wise. And I don't see any way the Bucks fall into that. At best, they're doing their job now.
With the things that they've gone through this season, I think I put them in the A tier.
That's fair. That's fair logic with it.
Yeah.
They've
If
had
Drew
a lot
Holiday was fucking ass, then I for sure B tier. Or not ass, but not phenomenal, then
Yeah.
like,
I can see that. You could say that they've dealt with a lot of trials and tribulations and they fought through it and they're still where you want them to be. So I'm not mad at that. They're B+.
Yeah, exactly.
We all had the Mavs here, right?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yeah,
Tell me
for
about that,
sure.
Donovan. Why are the Mavs in B tier?
All right. So a couple reasons. So I thought that the Mavs were going to be fairly good this year. right now. They're outside of the play-in. Coming, I guess, up until a week and a half ago, they had Luka, who's playing at an MVP level, and they added Kyrie. And so even though that I think that in the short term they got worse, they've been able to win games.
Why do you keep saying that? They did not get worse, man.
I think. Well, I'm saying like in the short term for the playoffs this specific year. I think
still.
I think that they're going to be able. I think that teams are going to be able to kind of expose them a little bit in the playoffs with the lack of defense. But
Dorian Finney-Smith is not fucking Dennis Rodman.
Listen. Obviously,
I get you.
Obviously, like Luka and Kyrie, they are 100% up to the task of scoring every point that you need them to. But it puts a lot of pressure on them to do so. And we've seen burnout from Luka before. We've seen Kyrie.
That's the thing.
Have a couple of things.
Before it was on both of them. It was just on Luka. That's even worse, right?
Yeah.
Who was he going to lean on before this? They was going to lean on a stellar defense of Dorian Finney-Smith, like he was just some stopper. Like,
no. But I have questions about them in the playoffs, and I don't think the main question that everybody's having of like, oh, you have two ball dominant people. I don't care about that. We've seen Kyrie play off ball. That's going to be just fine. But you get down to final possessions or to possessions like they had the other night against Minnesota, and both of these guys get locked up on the perimeter like that. Like things like that are a little bit concerning. But
what's the alternative?
You go out and you get a star moving forward for low cost. And you're able to help out Luka and basically upgrade from Jalen Brunson to Kyrie Irving and make that replacement. Overall, like as a team building aspect, that's good. So that's why I put Dallas there. And again, they're outside the play-in. So I'll put them at B.
When you say outside, you mean they're above the play-in?
Yeah.
Okay. Outside makes it sound like they're 13th seed or something. I was confused for a second.
No, I'll just, if they were that, I'll just say they're out the playoffs right now.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, see, the difference is, I mean, I have them B tier as well, so clearly we're in the same realm. I don't think they're worse for the playoffs, but irrelevant to the grading we're doing right now. Mm-hmm. But I think when the alternative was you have one star and another extra decent defensive piece, that extra defensive piece doesn't help you more than an additional star does in the playoffs. Because I think there is no world where they make a run with just Luka and the supporting cast around him. And now I think there's a world where they might, if things click well and their defense holds up.
And something that's important to just mention as well, they're missing, I don't want to say this like he's a superstar player, but he is a difference maker, Maxi Kleber. And these last few games that we have seen with Kyrie and Luka Doncic, although they're going to have the like minor kinks like every new duo has when they first start out. And I wouldn't want to judge them or throw out things like that because it's just going to happen until like towards the end of the season. If they're still doing these type of things, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
But as of now, I'm chilling.
Did y'all see their top three guys scored 90 points combined and they still got their backs blown out by Minnesota?
Yeah. That's tough.
That was a crazy game.
Not backs blown out. That wasn't a blowout.
It was early on. I think they closed it up.
But they got handled.
But they were getting handled through the whole game. Like it was consistent routing. It wasn't a blowout like a 21-point skunk, but it was consistently teeth kicked in.
Yeah, exactly. I was watching that game. I think was that game last night or am I tripping?
2 days ago, I think. No, it was like 2 or 3 days ago now.
I remember watching that game and they were making their runs and they were putting up a fight towards the end of the fourth quarter.
Shout out Josh Green.
Shout out! Oh my God, he's one of my favorite and also one of the best role players in the entire NBA.
Nice.
One of the best athletes, point blank period. He can do a little bit of every single thing on the court. Dude, he's a gem. Yeah, he makes life a little bit easier. Not easier, but he makes life a little bit better now that you don't have Dorian Smith Jr.
There's a lot of pressure on him defensively going into the playoffs this year.
Say his name right.
DFS, Dorian Finney-Smith. There we go.
I'm a big Dorian Finney-Smith fan.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Let's
who else we got?
Let's get on to this A tier. My A tier.
Sacramento Kings.
Yep, Sacramento Kings. We all got them there.
Beam team.
They were the best story of the league. They're the biggest difference between expectations and reality this year was easily the Kings. They're a lock for all of our A tiers. We all have the Nuggets. Best team in the West by far.
Yes.
3-time MVP on the way. They really have no competition in the West besides the Suns.
Okay. Yep. I'm with you.
I think Donovan, you had the Cavs in B. I have the Cavs in A.
Okay.
I have the Cavs in A as well.
Yeah, they're the fourth best team. You could say I think that I have more hopes for them than the Sixers in the playoffs. So I would say the third best team in the West, in the East. The integration of Donovan Mitchell was excellent, and you see the outline of a really good team especially next year when they get this 3-spot filled together, I think there's nothing you could say wrong with their season.
Yeah, for me personally, they are exactly what I thought they would be going into the season so far, and the exact same questions that I've had. There's some questions there, but that ain't stopping them at all, for real.
Yeah, they're great.
So
I had them just under, like, if we were ranking them, they would be at the top of my B tier.
Yeah.
Like they're B plus A minus right now. I think the one thing that's keeping me away from the top spot is the fact that I like the other teams a little bit more than Cleveland. Like, I like Boston more. I like Milwaukee more. We already talked about, like, in terms of expectation, Sacramento finding their way in there. There's just something that I need to see in the playoffs that's keeping me away from putting them in the A tier. But
it's not a tier list. It's like, it's a regular season grade. So
I know. But it's just, I'm still just waiting. I'm waiting to see everything click, and I'm not that it hasn't, but yeah, I'm still waiting. Waiting.
I got you. Celtics are obviously all A tier. We don't got to talk about them. Yeah. They're the amazing team they were second half of last year. They're fantastic. They've had some inconsistencies in the past 6 weeks or so, but every top team goes through that eventually, and they've weathered the storm just fine. Yeah. Jason Tatum kind of fell out of the top tier of the MVP race, though. That's interesting.
That really sucks for him.
He's never going to win it.
You were capping for Tatum too. Not as MVP,
during the summer,
like being
when we had Kenny on the show before the season started, I said that we asked the question for the hot takes was, will Jason Tatum win an MVP in the next 3 years? And I was like, no, he's going to be second or third every single year, and he's never going to be the guy that gets it, because there's going to be other guys that have more gaudy stats because they're bigger ball handlers than him, and they're going to get over him every year. Here we go. Exactly what happened.
Look at this guy. He knows ball.
For my last team in A, I had Memphis there. Did y'all have them in B or A?
I had them in B.
I had them in B, I believe.
I had them in B.
So you could say they fell out of it because they hadn't kind of had that stretch where they, similarly to the Pelicans, lost a fuck ton of games in a row. But I would say the fact that they were able to do that and still be the runaway 2 seed in the West shows just how fucking great they were to start the year and build this lead for themselves. I think if we're giving the Nuggets credit for being by far the best team in the West, they're by far the second best team in the West all year. That I think that's what you want. A lot of people were saying last year was an inconsistent fluke. They're going to fall back a little bit, me included, and they just haven't.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I think if you're the Grizzlies, you should be competing for the number 1 seed right now. And
they are.
They are not going to get the number 1 seed.
Oh, you're right. They're 5 games back now. They're 5 games back.
That's not happening.
They're not. That's
not happening.
They're out of that race.
They should be competing for the number 1 seed right now, and they're not.
Why though? They have 1 star. Like, I feel like that's not. They have 1 star on their team.
I mean, but this has been their MO for this year and last year. Like, they've been able to compete and do all that. And as soon as your man Ja goes out there, and personally, I loved it. I love the fact that he went out and said, "There's nobody in the West that we're scared of." But you have to go out and you have to back it up. And since that point, they just can't beat anybody in the West. And so you do all that. You put the target on your back. You were ascending and purposely put a trap out there in front of you, and you fall over it. And now you're like in the 2 seed where you could have had home court advantage throughout the entire playoffs and could have been competing right here. And so for that, it's very disappointing. And on top of that, like, Desmond Bane, he got hurt. His first 10 games or whatever was ridiculous. He fell back. Jaren Jackson Jr., he's been fantastic. Dylan Brooks still is on the roster, and that's a problem because he just keeps messing things up. So that's why I would put them in B.
Okay. Yeah, I can't be mad at it.
I would put them in A if I felt like they were one of those teams like the Milwaukee Bucks, Denver Nuggets, or Boston Celtics who just felt like when it came to 90% of the NBA, they were untouchable. And I feel like the Memphis Grizzlies are a very touchable team.
I knew you were going to say that. Knew you were going to say that. That's such
no one's even thinking like that. But none of the viewers are thinking like that right now. They're like, what is up with Donovan, man?
That's
like,
just
what
such
do you
a
have
weird
going on in your mind right
to
now?
say something is touchable, that's crazy. That's crazy.
When I say they're touchable, like
I knew you were going to say it, and
they can be defeated.
Okay? Touchable is wild.
Like that?
In any sense.
They were moving like they were untouchable.
In any sense. Touchable is wild.
Touchable is a crazy verb to use. I know what you mean.
my God.
I wasn't going to pause it, but it is a funny verb to use.
Anyways.
Bro, you can touch them so hard.
Okay, yeah, that's crazy.
You can touch the hell out of them.
Right? Yeah, no, that's nasty.
People are touching jaw left and right.
It's just like they're not. When I think of the Memphis Grizzlies and how they could pan out in the playoffs, like other than like a team like, okay, of course, like the Sacramento Kings or whatever, I'm not seeing any team that's like an easy, they're gonna whoop their ass, other than like the Sacramento Kings, and then of course you got the Minnesota Timberwolves because they got their number, and the Pelicans because they're going through injuries. But other than that, like, you got to go against the Warriors, the Dallas Mavericks, the Clippers, there's the Phoenix Suns, and then there's the Denver Nuggets. So it's just like, they're very touchable to me.
And he doubled down. And he doubled down.
And there's and in my mind, with how you would think they would ascend compared to last season to this season, that shouldn't be the case.
I think maintaining it what they did last year, not ascending, is fine. I think they aren't they aren't a superstar led team. They have one star player and then a really good team around him, and being the 2 seed again is completely fine. I think it's another great season.
It's definitely fine. They're not a disappointment whatsoever. But like,
yeah, but I think last year they exceeded.
Them in the
I think they just exceeded again by continuing to be the second best team in the West, despite having one star player and a bunch of good players around him.
I don't even think they exceeded. They have an extremely well-rounded roster. Like, in my mind, this is like one of the perfect constructions that you could possibly do for someone like John Morant. Yeah. So like, this is what they are. They're going to be a consistent top 3 seed for as long as they're going to be healthy and together.
It's a similar argument to the Bucks, so I could easily put them in B. So I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Guys, I regret to inform you that is our entire list. It is TikTok time.
Let's get into it.
And the truth is, I don't actually regret it. I'm very happy to tell you.
Let's do it.
So, like always, we're going to start off with a draft like we always do. This time, I need you guys to pull up the All-Star teams for this year. Because we're going to draft lineups with only people who made the All-Star team. And we're going to count alternates and people who got out for injuries.
You said what?
We're going to count alternates too.
All right, bet.
Yeah, we need more bodies. There we go.
Cool. So yeah, pull those up. 2023 All-Star roster, which really you don't even got pulled up because it's like you know the fucking players.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's do this. So yeah, people just got selected the All-Star team. I think, is it my turn, number 1 pick? Did I go second last time?
Didn't you go first last time?
No, Isaac went third. I went first. Mo went second.
Okay, so Mo's first. I'm second. You're third.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
Let's draft NBA lineups with only people who made the All-Star team this year. Let's draft NBA lineups with only people who made the All-Star team this year. That's so wordy. All-Star team this year.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Let's draft NBA lineups with only 2023 All-Stars.
There we go.
There we go. Got it.
Nice.
Mo, you go first.
There's really no wrong pick when it comes to the first overall pick, but I need Giannis.
Okay, that's fine.
Give me Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Picking the best player in the world. It's easy. Number 2, give me Nikola Jokic.
Okay, that's
gonna be the MVP again. I need him.
All right, give me Steph and give me Joel Embiid.
That's a fucking disgusting duo. Damn.
That's menacing right there, bro.
And you know what? The only way for me to match that duo, give me Luka.
Isaac, stay with the white man on his team.
Let's go.
Exactly. There's something about Isaac that he ain't telling us.
It's gonna be a white boy summer.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Listen, the game's in Utah. That's all I'm gonna say.
Playing to the crowd. Like it. Okay.
All right, your turn, Donovan. Mo.
Yeah, it's my turn. All right, so go ahead. Give me LeBron James.
Fuck, I was hoping you fell to me next.
And then I want Jason Tatum. I need a big body.
That's a nasty top 3.
Big ass. Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, this is the easiest pick in the world. Give me Kevin Durant.
I was hoping.
Dang. Bro, he's okay. Yeah. All right, whatever.
He's on the
I ain't gonna argue that right now.
I was hoping he would fall to me. Okay, that's fine. All right, so I have Steph and Joel Embiid. Give me Donovan Mitchell.
Good pick. Good pick.
Nice.
And at my, I need a 4. I need a 3 and a 4. Where am I gonna go with this? Where am I gonna go? You know what? I don't care if he's hurt. I like him. Give me Zion Williamson.
I like him.
Give me Zion.
My plan is foiled. Damn. All right.
Okay. My turn now. So I have Luka. So I have a point guard. I have a center in Jokic. And I have a 4 in KD. So I need a 2 and a 3. You know what? I'm going to get Luka's real life backcourt partner now. Give me the last remaining starter. Give me Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
That's fire. That's fire. All right. So I got Giannis, LeBron, and then who was the last dude that I got? I got Giannis, LeBron, and Tatum. All right. So I'm pretty full with the wings. I need some goddamn shooting for real. A little bit more shooting on this team.
Not me. I got all the shooting.
Yeah. The best player on this all-star roster who's an absolute sniper is Damian Lillard. So I need him on my roster. All right.
Okay.
So I got Dame, Tatum, LeBron, Giannis. It's big as hell, bro. And to cap things off, I'm not even going to go for that. To cap things off, damn, dude, there's so many good options. There's so many good players.
All right, pick one.
Yeah, I know I have to fucking pick one. There's just so many good players, bro, but
it's an all-star draft.
Yeah, it's all.
You guys are going through hell.
Yeah, I'm going through hell right now, bro, because there's so many different options with my team.
What do you need? What do you need?
I need a center, but at the same time, I really don't need a center because I can put Giannis in that bitch.
Man, if you don't pick Bam and keep it moving.
Yeah, I want to pick Bam. So give me Bam.
Thank you.
Say it again in a way I can use in the TikTok.
Nah, fuck Bam. Give me Ja Morant.
Okay.
Yeah, give me Ja Morant. This is a fun-ass team right here.
Okay, I see. All I need left is a 3 spot. I have to choose between Paul George, Jaylen Brown, and Anthony Edwards. Give me Jaylen Brown. I think he's ascended.
You should have picked Ant for the vibes, bro. What the hell, man?
Right.
Jaylen Brown got a broken face right now. Who wants to see that?
All right. I needed a 3 as well. Isaac, you made my decision for me. Give me Paul George.
Can't be mad at it.
Nice. Who lost this one? This is pretty good.
I mean, I don't know. They're all all-star teams.
Yeah.
So I got Luka, Kyrie, Jaylen Brown, Kevin Durant, Jokic.
Ooh, that's nasty, bro. KD, Jokic, and
I have Steph, Donovan Mitchell, Paul George, Zion, Joel Embiid.
Damn, that's nasty, bro. I got Ja Morant, Damian Lillard, LeBron, Tatum, and Giannis.
Oh, you lost. You fit it all.
I regret to inform you.
What?
You have a lot of good players, but you have 2 point guards, 3 power forwards. Just
Bro, my team is the most versatile on this list. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. You just have the highest. You just picked 2K ratings. The team doesn't fit together.
I need my comments to go ahead and come from me, bro.
No, the comments are probably
to back me up.
The comments are going to be a split between me and Donovan. But I don't know. You have also just a lot of good players. People might pick you too.
Yeah.
Okay. Next TikTok, we're gonna do something funny. These guys are going to guess players by their haircuts.
Oh, let's do it.
So I'm going to send you guys pictures one by one. I'll make sure to put these on the screen. If I forget, scream at me and tell me I'm a loser and don't deserve to have a podcast. I'll need the motivation. So first one. Let's put this in here.
All right, who are we guessing?
Guess this NBA player based on their haircut. Guess this NBA player based on their haircut. Who is this guy?
You see, this is tough because so many.
That's what I'm saying.
This is
so many
such a
people have
out hairstyle.
So
bro.
many people got these starter locks. Let me see what this is.
Is this Cam Thomas?
Damn, first guess. This is Cam Thomas.
Look at Mo. Shout out.
I'm in my bag. What can I say? This is what I do.
All right, player number 2.
Oh my God, he's balding.
Ooh, this is bad.
Bro, those little spikes on top.
This is bad.
This is Joe Ingles?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Joe Ingles?
This is Joe Ingles. Most 2 for 2.
Mosin is bad.
This is what I do, man. Yeah, this is what I do.
That one's a little easier.
Yeah.
Player number 3.
Who's next? Oh, that's Kyrie.
Oh.
That's Kyrie. I know that hairline.
Wow.
I know
That's
that
nice.
hairline.
That's nice.
That forehead give it away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got those lines in the forehead.
I wish I had Kyrie's hairline, man. That's crazy. So
You
sturdy.
do hairline
It's so
draft
sturdy.
next.
Player number 4. Who is this?
Has not come up on the screen.
This is definitely an older person.
Oh, there it goes.
Forehead is beat the fuck
Oh,
up, so you can tell. See some discoloration.
That's LeBron James with spray paint.
That's not LeBron James. That's hilarious when you find out who it actually is.
Is this Draymond Green?
This is not Draymond Green.
Mm.
It looks kind of high. Is this that picture of Dennis Schroeder?
No, it's not Dennis Schroeder.
I see some. Does he have waves? I think he has.
Nah, but
he's trying to
his
get
forehead,
waves.
he looks mad old.
Yeah, he's beat up, bro. he's gone some, bro.
Watch this be somebody young.
He's taken some hard ass screens in his lifetime. Who is this?
Y'all give up?
I'll take one more guess. Let me try to think of some people.
Yeah, Is this John Wall?
This is not John Wall.
That was a good guess, bro. Damn. Donovan, you gonna clutch this out?
You're not going to get it.
I don't know. I give up.
Yeah.
This is Jaylen Brown.
What?
What?
This is
Wow.
Jaylen Brown.
This is Jalen. This is a terrible picture.
See,
of
this is
Jalen
why
Brown.
I hate
They did
Isaac.
him so dirty.
This is why I hate Isaac.
What do you mean? This is his fucking official picture. It's just Jaylen Brown.
God.
Why do you hate
that's
me?
tough.
I didn't tell him to get a fucking born back hairline at 25.
Jaylen Brown grew his hair out too, so that's very deceiving.
Yeah,
Smart man.
It's pulled back. It's not. I wasn't deceived. I'll send it to you. This is the real full picture.
Let me see this.
It's just Jaylen Brown.
Oh, he had braids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't see the braids. That's why.
Yeah. That's a good lick
Okay.
on us.
I really hate Isaac.
Next one. Whose hairline is this?
I gotta wait for it to come through.
I feel like this player's low IQ for some reason.
What?
The head looks skinny. The head looks skinny.
That's
man.
crazy.
Oh no,
You ever
this
see
does
people
look like a
with
low
skinny
IQ
heads?
player.
That's insane.
I
What are
can
y'all
tell
saying?
there's nothing in between.
Oh,
these.
is this Evan Mobley?
This is Evan Mobley. Bro Shaw's
He's not low
hairline said
IQ.
there's not a
Shout out
thought
to
between
him.
those eyes. What's going on?
Yeah.
Hey, this is Mo's game.
Man.
This is Mo's game.
Yeah.
He's in his bag.
This guy's low IQ. That's crazy.
I like that, man.
Yeah, that's kind of offensive. Holy shit.
Last one.
Oh, this is Darius Garland?
This is not Darius Garland.
No.
I see why you
No.
said that though.
Oh, this is D Rose.
This is D Rose.
Yeah.
Look at Mo. Wow.
That was on fire.
Yeah, D Rose for sure.
Okay.
It's the undone braids for me that told me it.
It's undone braids for me, woman.
Yeah, D Rose don't tidy up too often, but shout out to him, legend regardless.
Okay, so that was a fun game. We're gonna do another game similar. It's gonna be another guessing game. This time, y'all gonna have to see. You're gonna see the full picture. You're gonna have to name this player, and it's gonna get harder every time.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay.
All right, let's
How do I hook this? Y'all name these NBA players, and it's gonna get harder every time. That's not the best way to frame it. How do I hook this?
Name these players.
Name these NBA players, and it's gonna get harder every time. First off, I'll send you the easiest one. It's a name you should know.
LeBron James.
Who is this man?
He was on the Detroit Pistons. He's a guard.
This man looks old as hell.
No, he's not old. He's not old.
He's kind of old.
His last name is McGrady or something like that, right?
His name is not
Or
McGrady.
make
It's
something.
not a real word.
Are you thinking about Rodney Magruder?
Yeah.
This is Rodney Magruder.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Yeah, exactly. There you
Okay.
go.
You guys got
Team
the first
effort.
one.
Nah, Rodney.
one wasn't too hard.
He looked straight out the '80s. This is crazy.
That one
looked
wasn't
old.
too hard. Here's number 2.
Man, I swear I seen someone who looked like he works at Costco. I've seen him before.
Is that Aldama?
Oh man,
Aldama,
yeah, I don't know who this
That is
is.
not Santi Aldama.
No, it's not.
I can't remember what he looks like.
The disrespect is crazy.
You should know
I
this
have no
one.
idea who this is.
I can't.
Who should know?
This is if you don't know this guy, it's not a good testament for your basketball IQ.
Really? Why?
You don't be watching enough hoops if you don't know who this is.
He don't get that much playing time. I literally went
Wait,
to a
what's
Memphis
his-
Grizzlies game
What's
the
his
other
tattoo
day.
on his- Yeah, I don't know who this is.
Yeah, I have no. I didn't know the Grizzlies had another foreign looking.
This looks like
white
Chandler
guy
Parsons
other
with the
than
haircut.
Steven
That's crazy. Y'all
Yeah, I
don't know
have
who
no
this
idea. No, not a clue. We're cooked.
is? What?
We're cooked.
Embarrassing.
We're cooked.
What's his name? Does it start with an L?
This is John Conchar.
What?
That's what we be looking like.
Oh my god!
That's
Yo,
crazy.
how do y'all not know John Conchar?
John looks.
looking
I
wild
thought
sometimes.
John was a little bit uglier than this.
What?
He got tattoos.
John
Damn.
John
You
Conchar
just said it was going to get harder. It got harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you expect?
You're good at your
Who
job.
who is this man?
Oh, that's Malachi Flynn.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Malachi Flynn.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell which one to put first, him or Conchar. I thought Conchar would be easier.
Nah, yeah. Malachi Flynn is my dude. I love
Okay.
that dude.
I'm not
Last
sure.
one. I think I'll just cut. I'll just cut
minutes.
the Malachi Flynn one. We'll do 3 in this video. Last one. Who is this man?
Oh, that's Theo Pinson.
Oh shit! You
North
knew that
Carolina
fast.
legend.
The picture didn't even come through for me yet. My Wi-Fi is trash.
You know Theo Pinson, but not John Conchar. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Theo Pinson
Yeah.
has his own podcast. So
Yeah, bro. And he's one of the best NBA memes ever.
Facts.
That Brooklyn Nets celebration dance. He started that. That's him, the originator. Respect him.
Okay. Interesting.
Shout out to
You
his
guys
podcast,
failed
too.
number 4. I failed number 3, but got 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I didn't want to make it too hard and pick like the bottom of the bench guy on every team. So I might have to get a little harder next time for you.
Yeah, that was good. I think that was good.
shout out.
Okay, what do I have next? Next up, we're gonna do another tier list. We've done 2 so far. People love it. So this time we're gonna do small forwards.
Okay.
You know, keep
Let's
keep
do
going
it.
with the position rankings. First, I'm gonna drink some water because my throat hurts because we've been talking for an hour and 22 minutes.
God damn.
Pause.
We've been going.
Let's put these NBA small forwards into a tier list.
Boom.
First up, Jason Tatum.
A tier.
A.
He's not S yet.
A tier.
No, not S.
Okay, so who's S? KD?
Yes. I would
Is
put-
LeBron still next?
Actually, no. You know what? Jason Tatum has been the best small forward this year. I'm gonna give him the S tier.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know I forgot S tier was the thing, so he has to be on S tier. You can't put him in A
Yeah,
and KD.
MVP. He was
Yes.
he was in the MVP conversation too. Like that's just disrespectful.
He's
Yeah.
a heavy hitter.
I think KD's still a little better, but I don't hate putting them in the same tier. Next up, how do you say? Is it Michael Bridges or McCall? I always say it wrong.
Mikal.
McCall Bridges.
McCall.
We just said it the wrong way.
It's McHale, right? McHale, right?
McCall, yeah.
It's McHale. I always say McCall, and people say in the comments I say it wrong. I think it's
Yeah,
I
McCall.
don't know. He's a hooper.
Yeah, it's McCall Bridges.
McHale
How's
Bridges.
mama say it? I would say
This is
He's
an interesting
a
one.
B tier.
I would
Is it
say
B?
A tier. I would say A tier.
He's not
A?
A tier, but come
Listen,
on.
I really like Mikal Bridges.
Me too. He's the
A
best.
tier is all star tier. He's not an all star.
He's the best role player in the NBA. One of the best perimeter defenders. But you can't be A tier if you're not like a volume scorer. I don't think.
I mean,
or
who's
like
A tier?
an elite
Yeah,
defender.
Then
If
who's
you
A
can't
tier?
create your
Let's
shot-
get to somebody who's A tier.
Okay, but I think Bridges is B tier.
B, definitely.
All right.
He's a B plus damn near.
What about Andrew Wiggins? Is he also B?
B. Solid B.
Put him in the same
I'll
realm
say-
as Bridges.
Yeah, same
guess so,
exact
yeah.
tier as McCall Bridges.
Okay, I think Bridges is a little
not-
better, but they're in the same tier.
Yeah, exactly. He's not better than Bridges.
Paul
Definitely
George.
same tier. He's an A tier.
He's A tier. Yeah, he fits in there
Okay,
between
fine.
these two people.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine. That's fine.
exactly.
That's fine. I
Okay.
forgot about Paul.
Yeah.
Michael Porter Jr.
I want to say C.
I feel like I haven't heard his name at all this year. Like he's just been steadily there, hasn't been hurt, but he's been steadily worse than he was last year.
He's a sniper still, regardless of the fact, though.
Definitely, but his
Puts the
2-point
ball in
percentage
each
fell a
team.
lot. Like he's not finishing
we're
his
going
non
C?
3-point shots very well anymore.
Look, I tell you he's a sniper, and you're talking about his 2-point percentage. Give that man his respect. He's doing his job.
Yes, and he has one job, and that's every time he touches the ball, the bitch is going in the air, and he does that every single
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
So what?
exactly.
B minus,
C
C
tier.
plus.
He's-
Where
he's
we
C
going?
tier. No, I
Okay.
think it's like
I think
C
C.
minus more rather than possibly B.
Okay.
I would say C plus rather than B.
Okay, well definitely C tier, right?
Yeah,
C.
we'll go C.
Definitely, yeah. We agree.
Okay. RJ Barrett.
Y'all got it.
Put this man in the depths of D tier, maybe F tier for being fucking honest.
Yeah. D tier, bro. Not F, but D.
Listen, there's an easier
was-
argument for F than there is for anything higher than D. RJ Barrett is not
Yeah.
above average at any tangible skill set. I'm not gonna go F.
Yeah,
He's gonna be D, but it's grim for New York Knicks fans.
RJ Barrett is the definition of mid, bro. There's nothing that he's exceptional at on the court.
The most overpaid player in the NBA
down.
outside of Ben Simmons.
He's down. Y'all said enough. Leave him alone.
Yeah, I got a lot more in the chamber, I promise you.
Let's unload the clip next episode.
Man. Y'all just mean. Like, bro, relax.
That's good. Okay. One more TikTok and we're out of here.
No, you got to rate DeAndre Hunter, man. Shit. People want to hear that.
Do that
name.
on your own time. Do that on your own time.
Is there an F tier point guard? I mean, F tier small forward? I don't even know.
We have to have the F tier as well.
Yeah, I don't even know.
F tier small forward.
It's fine. We'll move on.
The NBA.
We don't got to put an F.
Yeah, whatever.
Last thing we're going to do another jerseys draft. We haven't done one in a couple weeks. So, which NBA jersey is better, old or new?
Retro.
So we've done this twice now. We're going to do some more teams we haven't done yet. So we already have these in the GM. So let's go up.
Where we starting?
The Hornets.
Tippy top.
It's my bag. The new one is much better. It's much
way better.
Yeah, for sure.
We talking about purple jersey, purple and
they had Kemba Walker
teal?
in hell, bro. What is this? This is such a 2010s ass jersey. It did not age well. Like the new one is so much cleaner.
The stitching on this jersey
it
doesn't
runs
even
the
look
laps
good.
wrong.
This is bad.
Yeah, look at the collars. Like the details are just.
It's just very boring. Where they messed up is that they have a very boring basic design with very fun colors.
It's, you know what it is? It has that Jordan Brand aesthetic that all the like high school teams and college teams have that have these regular jerseys from these same suppliers. It just looks generic. It looks like I made it in 2K.
Yeah, exactly.
Modern ass
generic with fun colors. Why, bro? That's an all-time fumble.
Yeah. Lame. The Toronto Raptors.
Oh, man.
This is messed up.
This is a wash.
Yeah, this is messed up. Bro,
it's not fair.
The old school Raptors are one of the most iconic jerseys in NBA history. They're one of the best jerseys in NBA history. They win this easily over the
really not fair. Yeah. We had to ask it, but
the old...
It's a perfectly adequate jersey versus the GOAT jersey.
Yeah, exactly. I think this Raptors jersey, the new school one, is definitely one of the better jerseys in the NBA today. But
it's solid. They have really good alternates consistently.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to their design team.
Shout out,
one of the best in the NBA.
Shout out Drake.
He's in the lab in Adobe Photoshop.
Aubrey.
All right, next one, the New York Knicks.
All right, the old school ones are so much better. I don't like these black ones. I don't like these black ones. I think the black ones.
I don't know if I agree with that. I like the black ones.
The black ones they need to have a little bit of blue in them. I think going straight like black and orange, it feels so Halloween-y. I don't like it.
Halloween.
I'm going new, honestly. I like black jerseys. It's hard to mess it up. Yeah. I don't love the old black paneling on the Knicks jerseys. I think there's a reason it's gone. It's okay. I don't hate it, but I don't. This doesn't wow me in any way.
You shut your mouth about the black paneling. All right.
Bro, I don't like big ass nasty black paneling. Blocks.
The black paneling on this New York Knicks jersey is iconic and it is beautiful. And that's it. We're done. Nobody say anything else. Move on to the next team. Don't just say nothing.
Black clears.
The Cleveland Cavaliers.
Old school.
This is hard, but the new one is just so clean to me.
I'm biased.
New school.
The first jersey that I spent. The first jersey that I bought with my own money was that blue LeBron James jersey.
It's a classic, bro.
That's mine.
Listen, I'm taking this white Cavs jersey is gorgeous. I think their new redesign is amazing. But with that being said, you got to go with the old one. This one with the checker collar, amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah. If you take out all that nostalgia aside, we are all taking the white jersey. I don't want to say clears. But it's kind of
obvious. Not. Even design-wise.
Pay attention to the detail, bro. Let's be real.
They're both nice. I'm not mad at you for picking it, but I don't think it clears at all.
No, it definitely doesn't clear, but it's not an extensive conversation needed.
Disagree.
The old school alternate wins.
That shit's hard. The big C, that shit is gorgeous.
Yeah.
The Portland Trailblazers.
This one's kind of tough. The Blazers have low-key had like the most consistent high-level jerseys throughout like their franchise's existence. I think I'm gonna go with the new ones.
What? I love the old school. The vertical blazer looks so good to me. I think they wear these now.
Yeah.
Having the stripes come across, that's just such like an iconic. It's such a nice, just clean design.
I can see that. You're right.
I think they wear these throwback jerseys now for like the 1977 throwbacks, and I think every time they wear it, I'm like, why don't they do this more often? This looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
No, I think
I'm gonna have to go with old school. You just don't see that type of style pattern whatsoever in the NBA at all.
yeah, because I think
nice,
and they do it so
yeah,
well.
because having like a vertical word looks goofy.
I like it. It's different.
Have the word,
but they figured out how to do it though. It doesn't look goofy.
Nah.
All right, last one.
New one clears.
Last one. These Celtics alternatives.
Oh my god, these are generational. These sleeve jerseys are by far the worst jerseys in NBA. One of the worst jerseys in NBA history.
Bro,
I feel like
the green paneling.
I'm
on
a
the
senior
shoulders?
citizen with that shit on.
It's horrible.
The straight gray, and they did Marcus Smart so dirty with these poses, bro. What type of pose is that?
Bro, it's
looking
posted.
to your side. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's the new. It's obviously the new. The new ones are solid, completely good, adequate alternate jerseys. The gray ones deserve jail time. Everybody involved needs to be thrown under the jail.
There's like 2 sleeve jerseys ever that are actually decent. This is not one of them. This one sucks.
Certainly is not one of them.
This one sucks. The new one clears.
Absolutely.
I'm just like mad you showed me this and brought this back into my life. I had forgotten about it, and now you just have it in my mind again. And I think you might deserve jail time for this. For those who don't know, but Mo pulled these out, not me. And I just probably not going to forgive you for it anytime soon.
It has to be brought up in NBA history. These were a thing, and they did happen.
Listen, if you're still here, comment and blame Mo for ruining our nights by showing us these Celtics jerseys. I want to see blame Mo in the comment sections.
Gonna be throwing up for the rest of the night.
Yeah,
bro.
give me blame Mo and give me vomit emojis. I want to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
That's the end of the episode.
Giveaway.
Yep. Join the giveaway.
True.
The Discord. Follow us on our socials. This is the end of the episode.